tired of excuses on why he can't pay rent.
All her toys, all her clothes.
The plumbing backing up because the plumbing isn't done correctly. He called my work saying that I owe him money that I ran out of my wife's work.
Because your wife was looking for you.
I told him I'd give him $300. It was time for him to pay me back. He sent me $1. I see him on Facebook buying a $100 bottle. He drunk, he turned up.
Look, I was sending payments back to back. $1. Okay?
Plaintiff Robert Allen is suing the defendants for $2,630 for unpaid rent, late fees, and repairs. Defendants, Justin Blankenship and Belinda Carter, claim the plaintiff lied about the apartment's amenities and utility costs. They say they owe him nothing.
Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Case number 179 on the docket. Allen Jr. versus Blankenship and Carter.
All right, and welcome to all of you. Let's see what we have here. We have the plaintiff, Mr. Allen Jr. You are suing the defendant for $2,630 for unpaid rent, late fees, and damage repairs. Why don't you tell me your side of the case?
Well, I'm suing this deadbeat tenant for...
Hey, keep telling the lies, bud.
I'm tired of excuses on why he can't pay rent and tired of him taking advantage of my kindness.
Tell me the story about how he became a tenant.
He came across an ad from Zillow for a one-year lease at a loft for $650. That's with the utilities included. So they liked the place, and so we came to an arrangement and gave him this agreement right here, sir. And the deposit was $650. They started out on the get-go paying me in portions, so it was like $450 at first, and then I didn't get the other $200 of the deposit later on. And then it was continuing after that every month late. And after a few months of it, we talked about him leaving. He was tired of it, he couldn't afford it. And then he said something about his IRS check coming in. So we decided to come up with another lease agreement, and that was $250 a week on every Friday.
Then you made 4 new agreements.
You made so many new agreements.
Okay, hold on. So originally, you're stating that originally there was a lease, and it looks like starting May 21st of 2018.
Yes, sir.
And you're saying they were late in many months or partial payments?
9%.
All right. And then by the first of 2019, you decided you'd work out a new arrangement with them because they weren't paying, they were falling so far behind. And that's this sheet you're giving me, which says how much they were supposed to pay, according to this, every Friday, $250.
That's correct.
And you have here every week when they paid, if they didn't pay, when they did pay, how much they paid. And that's what these figures are here. And you have from December 28th, 2018, every week through January, February, March, and finally April.
Yes, sir.
And that's how you came up with the lawsuit of $1,670 in terms of unpaid rent.
Along with the damages also. Which
I understand that's another part of the suit.
Yes,
but for the unpaid rent, you're saying for all the months they were there, as of the time of the suit, they were behind $1,670.
Yes, sir.
Now, what do you want to say?
Your Honor, whenever we come into the address at question, we were lied to from the very start.
And what was that?
Well, whenever you walk up to, I want to give this to, there's a picture of a jacuzzi. You walk in, you're told you got a jacuzzi that works, all your utilities are going to be paid for on the property. Well, if you look at, we'll actually look at his agreement. He does not, my utilities were not included in my rent. My utilities were included whenever there's 3 houses on this property. There's 2 apartments in the back and a house in the front. They're all ran off of 1 meter box. So if the tenants in the front house don't pay, we lose power, or they don't pay their power bill, we lose power. They don't pay their gas bill, we lose gas. And it happened multiple times throughout the time of our lease. We had to go get hotel rooms. We had to go stay in different places at the drop of a hat because I come home from work, I have no power. So all of a sudden, when we were sitting there, we lost our hot water. So whenever we lost our hot water heater, it was due to a gas leak. Right here is the gas meter. It's not hooked up. And if you look at it, you'll see there's a bag over the pipe. The gas is not hooked up, so what?
When was that picture made? The gas went out, sir, so immediately we went to Alabama Power.
3 days later.
And
3
we
days
got
later.
the, a new
Got a new
electrical
hot water heater.
Time of the lease, how many days do you think are you saying you were out of power in terms of not having?
Altogether combined, probably a total of 2 weeks without power, without hot water, the plumbing backing up because the plumbing isn't done correctly.
Talk to me about the jacuzzi. When you first saw the ad,
It was on Craigslist. It wasn't on Zillow, too.
did it mention the...
It mentioned jacuzzi in the ad. Working jacuzzi, and then also all utilities paid $650. And whenever we saw that,
And
I
it
knew
said all utilities
all
paid.
utilities included. In
We
your
thought
rent.
he was paying
We
it
thought
back.
the landlord was paying the utilities, but once it got cut off, that's whenever we found out that the people that had lived in our house before us, they had the utilities in their name and they couldn't afford to pay them. And whenever they couldn't afford to pay them, it got shut off. And we
And
would do
people,
without
the people
power.
in the front
whole
also are
property
paying
got
for
cut
it,
off.
sir. So they come together and they have the jacuzzi working. But if you don't pay
It
your
doesn't
bills,
work.
It doesn't
You
work.
You took the
You don't get the
electrical wire
jacuzzi.
out
But
of
you
it.
took the line, whenever you heard the hot water
I'll show you
heater
this
that went
text.
electric, he took the electrical line that went from the meter box to the jacuzzi and put it in and ran it to the hot water heater and then
that
rented
was 6 months after
And then he
the jacuzzi
rented the
hasn't
place
worked. They didn't
again.
even bother getting in the jacuzzi.
And then he
Or you
rented
put
the place
water in
again
it.
on the grounds that the jacuzzi works to the next tenant and that her fire logs in her place would work. He lies
More
to the
excuses,
tenants.
more
He
excuses.
lies to the tenants and lies to the tenants. So whenever they do leave, he called my wife lost her job because
Yeah,
he
he
called
kept calling
harassing
up
her at
there.
work. On top of that, he called my work saying that I owe him money that I ran out on my wife because I actually had to tell him, stop calling my
Called your
work.
work because your wife was looking for you.
My work does not have anything to do with our rental agreement. He did not ever respect any of those bounds because if I don't have a job, obviously you can't get paid. She lost her job. But right here I have something also. He's saying I owe $1,600 in rent. This is April 17th. It says you owing $320 by Friday from Spencer Allen.
That's part of the payment plan.
Well,
you're doing
you
on
can't
Fridays.
say that you got one payment here and another payment here, and I'm charging late fees off the first
On
lease. But we got
Fridays,
an
you pay
agreement.
$160,
You
you're gonna have to pay the
cannot
rest.
say that you're
Talk
going to
too
say.
much.
I begged him for 2
Pay your
weeks to give me
bills.
my child's stuff. He kept her, everything that my child had, he kept it.
We tried to
Her
move
dresser, her baby stove, all her toys, all her clothes. When I went back to get it, the lock was changed, and it's locked in the storage room behind the house.
They still have the
The
keys
lock
to the
would
place,
never
sir.
No,
live
we
there.
don't.
You threatened to have me arrested for trespassing.
You had the locks
I don't
changed.
care. No, we didn't.
You can have your baby stuff. Just have it safe in storage.
Did you hand me the list of the damage
Evidence.
repairs?
I have evidence right here.
Okay. What role did the jacuzzi play in you getting the apartment?
100%. With it being all utilities included, we were coming out of homeless shelter. I landed a very good job to where we didn't have to be in that lifestyle, living with shelter life and everything.
Got it.
So whenever we came out of it, she saw it. She said, baby, this summer we'll be able to sit in the jacuzzi and actually relax whenever we get home from work. And that was, she lit up. And whenever I seen the smile on my wife's face because of the specific jacuzzi,
Okay.
that's
So you
what it
lived
did.
there for a year?
Yes, sir.
How much of an issue was this in getting it fixed?
The problem was is that he robbed parts off of it to run the.
I mean, were you like calling him and saying?
Yes, we talked about it
when
on
is this?
several
And what did
occasions.
you tell them about fixing the jacuzzi?
It works. I have a new jet and all that. So for 6 months, they didn't even bother putting water in it or anything.
The jacuzzi worked for 6 months?
No, it never had
It
it
did
never
work.
had nothing but leaves and everything in the bottom of it. It never had any water put in it because
When
The
you
power
turned it on,
showers.
wait, okay, hold on.
They never filled it up with water. That's what I'm saying, Judge.
You're saying it didn't work. You're saying it did. Very easy. Why don't you come over for 2 minutes? Let's turn it on and see if it works. No one did
Right.
that?
he never even came over and tried.
No, but
Whenever
you
we-
know-
I
you're-
tried. I tried to turn it on.
And when you turned it on, it
It
didn't
did not work.
Did you call him?
Yes.
He called you. What did you
No,
tell
sir.
him?
He did not
Go get
call me.
to it.
He never, you're under oath, he never called you to complain about the jacuzzi not working.
Well,
Careful.
I told them, I said, look, if you need help getting this thing started, I will. But they never called me over there to fill it up. I never witnessed that at all.
I can see why that would be an attraction if an apartment in your community is being advertised at $650 a month rent and utilities, and you get a jacuzzi.
Yes.
I could see, particularly if they're coming out of living in shelters, the idea that there's a jacuzzi there, that could be the thing which tips the scale, because there must be a whole bunch of apartments at $650 a month, and that they would choose that because, wow, this has a jacuzzi, let's do that. I mean, that's an attractive selling point. So I could see why that was significant. You didn't really get the thing working.
Your Honor, the terms is the people in the front have the utilities, so they have to coordinate something with him as well.
We didn't
And I
know
told
that
them
at the beginning.
I'd be glad to
Okay.
come get it
We didn't know
working.
that.
They didn't want to get it started or maintain it.
The suit is for unpaid rent for the time that you lived there,
He never even evicted us.
okay?
He never, we
He
weren't
what?
behind. We weren't behind. Every bit of,
No, I'm saying
Yes, sir.
That's
these
his record.
amounts.
That's his records. I've
Okay,
asked him
you're
to
saying,
email me.
I want evidence of
Okay.
you making the payments every Friday, $250.
I
Do you
would-
have
Give
those
us
I
canceled
would leave
checks?
it under a tile in front of the house, and he would come by and pick the money up.
If you're leaving $250 every Friday, you should have a record of that.
Yes, sir.
And leaving it under a tile,
That's
come
what
on.
we put. I mean, that's just an agreement.
Oh,
we
why?
looked at.
Well, there should be a canceled check.
Okay,
He only
well,
takes
he only
cash.
You
takes
what?
cash. He only takes cash. That's
And
all.
you didn't get a receipt for
He
it?
he won't take a check.
No,
because
the
what he-
agreement-
No, a receipt. You give someone
Some- There has
$250.
been some occasionally,
Receipts.
and he
Let's
has
see.
the carbon copies, but he never gave us all the carbon copies. I have
Carbon
letters
copy.
from.
Here are receipts for it.
Yes,
and
but
the
he never gave
receipts.
them to us. That's what I'm saying.
All right, but it's a record of a receipt of when you paid $150. Here you paid $400. Here you paid $650. Here $150, $250. So you did make these payments.
Yes, I made
All
those
right,
payments, and
but
some.
it's not $250 is what I'm saying. And he's recording every one of these. So he records when you pay the money. He reported here you paid $270 one week. Here you pay $250, again $250.
He
So
doesn't-
he's recording when you're paying.
But he doesn't do it every time, Your Honor.
On these events, okay. That's where you have to,
Learn.
yeah. I mean, really, when you pay rent and you're paying $250, and there obviously are receipts, I know you're saying you didn't get, then you knock on his door the next day and he say, can I have this receipt? He obviously wrote them out. He's writing the amounts of, I am prepared to believe that you did make these payments.
Yes, sir.
But you made these payments and you didn't make enough.
Okay.
And so you owe the rent for the months that you were there, for the weeks that you were there. Now, you can say that if we had to go days without heat or water, utilities, without power, the money that he wants to get for damages, part of that money should have gone to making sure they had power, and some of it should also go to making sure that the damages, how about fixing the jacuzzi and getting it operating? The plaintiff is entitled to the $1,670 for back rent. And he is entitled to the late fees, but I'm saying when he's suing for damages, I'm going to knock that off because I think the amount that the plaintiff wants for damages should have been used to fix the power and to fix the jacuzzi. And so I find for the plaintiff in the sum of $2,270.
Thank you, Your Honor. They're lazy. They didn't even pay their bills. So how can they take care of the jacuzzi?
He lied. And with one lie, it's just another lie that piles up on top of another lie.
Plaintiff Valencia Peterson claims she loaned her ex-BFF money to get back and forth to work. She's suing for $300. Defendant Jeremy Murphy says the plaintiff forgave the loan when he lost his job.
Case number 237 on the docket, Peterson versus Murphy.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Judge.
Let's see. We start off with the plaintiff, Ms. Peterson.
Yes, sir.
And you are suing your former best friend, Jeremy Murphy, for $300 for an unpaid loan.
Correct. Me and Jeremy been friends ever since we were little, like for about 15 plus years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So back in January, Jeremy, he came up to me, we was just talking, he told me that he was got a new job in Atlanta and he needed a little cash for Uber to get back and forth to work. So I told him I'd give him $300, but pay me on your second paycheck.
Okay.
So it was time for him to pay me back. He cashed out me $30. So after a week passed, another pay period came, cashed out me $5.
$5?
$5. But as he cashed after me stuff, he's sending me, I'm seeing him on Facebook, that this is him buying a $100 bottle. He drunk, he turned up, he having fun, too much fun, but he can't give me my money back.
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
that's the $100 bottle of Hennessy, but he only can send me $5 back on my money. So at this point, we up to like $35. So another week go by. I'm like, Jeremy,
Yeah.
can you send me some more money? So he sent me $1. Like, I'm one of them kids.
Do you have a record of these?
Yes. I'm about to show
What do you mean he sent you $1?
He sent me $1. These are all the transaction of me and him.
Okay, on January 9th, you send her $30. That part we got.
Yes, sir.
Then you send her $1.60. Then you send her $4.
That's all I had, Your Honor. That was my last dollar.
But you turned up
$5.
When I was sending her that was my last. I was
But you
sending her
turned
my
up every
last.
weekend.
Badgering.
And then you could see on there that I
I was
was
sending her my
requesting
last-
money
Here's
from him.
another.
No.
Here's another dollar. At
No.
this rate, I won't live long enough to see you having paid off. How much has he paid you back?
$44.
Okay, so it's really not $300 you're suing for. You're suing for $256.
Right.
What's your side of the story?
She forgave the loan. After I lost my job, she forgave the loan.
You is
She
lying.
forgave
Yes,
the
Your
loan.
Honor.
He is lying.
Do you remember forgiving
lying.
it?
I never forgave them
Yeah.
no loan.
Oh, so when I lost my job, what you expected?
just lost your job last
Your Honor,
week.
Listen, Your Honor.
I'm listening.
I lost my
Yeah.
job,
Yeah.
my car.
Is that why
everything.
you're celebrating
No,
with a $100
no,
bottle of Hennessy?
no, that's another day.
Oh, that's another day.
I didn't even buy that bottle, Your Honor. That was my homeboy bottle.
Your homeboy bottle,
I just drank
okay.
it for him. He
Yeah.
knew I was going through some things.
Well, maybe you can get your homeboy to pay her the $246.
No, he ain't work like that. Your Honor, I tried. You don't see all these payments? Look, I was sending payments back to back.
$1.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
$5.
$5, okay, yeah.
$1.
Keep it going.
Okay.
All right.
We're up to $6.
Okay.
$30.
30. Oh, look, see, I was
Here's the
trying.
deal. I know you're trying. You look like a really nice. You look like a fun guy.
I am. She
Yeah.
always have a good time with
Yeah.
me. She know what?
Now here's how the law works.
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay. She loaned you the money, which you don't deny. Okay,
I
because you
didn't
paid her
deny it.
back. So you didn't deny it. Good for you. Your honesty is good.
Tried to pay her back. You know,
Okay.
working on it.
And you have paid her back so far $256. Yeah, you
I
said
mean, the equivalent-
I'm sorry.
Hey,
44.
the equivalent to all that-
He
hey.
paid you back. No. Wait, it looks like I've been having the Hennessy. No. No. You paid her back $44, which means that what is still owed on the $300 loan is $256.
How is that still owe, Your Honor?
Okay,
if
well, I'll
she
tell you how.
forgave?
When you make a monetary loan, it has to be paid back monetarily with money, except if she says that something else you're giving her is worth that. If she would have said, you taking me out to a club and buying me all these drinks will serve as repayment of your loan, then you're free and clear.
She did.
But did you ever, if she did, I need some evidence.
It wasn't no statement for that $300. You believe in that?
But you've admitted that you owe her that. Seriously. Did you ever say, nah,
After I lost my job.
you did all this for me, you don't need to pay back the
No.
full $300. You never said
I
that
never
to
said.
me.
I always told him I need my money.
You need your money.
Just like I gave him my money, I need my money back.
Stand up and pay your responsibility, which is $256.
Don't loan your friends no money because they ain't gonna pay you back.
Thanks for watching. Now please approach the bench. The way I look at it, you have two options here. Option A, watch more Judge Jerry. Option B, watch more Jerry Springer. The choice is yours. Now get out of my courtroom. You have more clips to watch. And don't forget to subscribe.